Welcome once again. Another installment from me. This time I'm presenting from my own garden ahead of the horrors of bindweed. And let's face it, we need a bit of cheering up before we delve into that blasted weed. Anyway, from a very lovely backdrop, let's get on with it. Now this bed here, despite being a little bit weedy, was reserved for potatoes in containers. Obviously it's going to have a cardboard mulch down with wood chip over the top. Until I seen this lot. Now then, last year I did a video saying how I overcame bindweed. Well, that says otherwise. So, plan B. Right, so we move over to the main plot now. The last one was my borrow plot, and to the strawberry bed, 2 years old, planted through black plastic, and couch grass has invaded the bottom few holes. But above this, bindweed starts. Now, I've never had bindweed on this plot, apart from my neighbours have. Now it's crept its way underneath the plastic and it's popping up all over the shop underneath the strawberries. This is a bit of a disaster because there's no easy way to tackle this, but I'll show you how I've done it. See if it's any good. Only time will tell with this. So I'm back on the borrow plot. The initial clip I showed you. If you no dig like me, you don't want to just dig through the whole plot. This particular bindweed is concentrated in a small area, and the best way to do it is to not actually dig the soil, but get your fork underneath it and loosen the soil. What you're looking to do is release the roots. These have come up from something I've missed beforehand. Probably not a massive root system, so you're looking to find and exploit there. One's come up in my hand there. So you're looking to try and remove the whole root from wherever it's regrown from, if that makes sense. If you snap any, like that one's going to go there, then you've got to get your fork under and retry that area. You're trying to find the loose end. Some soil disturbance is going to be necessary because we're trying to eliminate bindweed from this spot, and the only way to do it really is tackling it. Mulching and covering just does not kill off bindweed alone. It's a useful tool in addition to this sort of treatment, but not on its own. And yeah, there we are. It's nice and easy. I won't go on too much on this because I'm sure you get the idea by now. Once you've loosened up enough ground, you see how easy these roots are coming up. So it's not indestructible. The other weeds, of course, just get the regular hoeing. This lot is going to be covered in cardboard anyway, and a mulch over it. I don't quite know what crop I'm going to put in there now. You know, plan B is a very good idea. These are just a bit too well established weeds that I've neglected a little bit over the winter, and a good hoeing usually is the best way to tackle this. Chops them off at the surface, allows the roots to die and carry on being nutritious in the soil. So even the weeds have a purpose. It's not quite a green manure crop, but you can treat it roughly the same. Anything that regrows, spot dig. Right, so let's have a go at this strawberry patch. I've tried the left hand side first because I'm trying to find the edge of the plastic, but as it happens, the plastic is well buried on this side, so I'm not going to disturb the side, and in truth the majority of the bindweed seems to be on the right hand side, coming across from the neighbours. So we're going to tackle from the other side. It's a bit loose on the side, so it's a bit easier to pull up. Basically what we've got to do is reveal the root structures if we can, because you've got to tackle it from underneath. If you just snap it off the surface, bindweed just ain't going to be defeated. You've got to get the roots. Now then, I've got a real problem because these are only 2-year-old strawberries. I don't want to lose them yet. Bindweed is, this is just going to be a temporary solution to get a crop out of it this year, try and not harm the strawberry foliage, and then place the plastic back over them and get a harvest, hopefully. So this is not curing a bindweed problem. This is a tiny fix that may or may not work a little bit. Where this is growing from is a big concern, because as I said to you before, I've never had it before. All the roots at the moment are leading upwards. And if you follow my videos before, last year I found a big root run of bindweed coming from beneath my apple trees from the top neighbour that I definitely had bindweed. I didn't think it had got down this far, but it seems to have. It seems to have travelled right the way down. Really not sure what to do about this in a no-dig context. Removing little bits of root, I guess this is basically a bodge job for this year. I may have to try and revisit this in the autumn. Obviously the foliage on the strawberries and the newly formed flowers are quite delicate at the moment, so I don't really want to do too much. I definitely don't want to dig them up. This is where one's died, so I can just do a bit more investigation there, but yeah, really isn't a good scenario at all. Yeah, there's quite a lot of roots down here, and that's just the one patch I can get to. Yeah, quite a lot of trouble with this, and I think if I can just keep it going for another year and then form a new strawberry bed somewhere else is probably the best policy. Really disappointed in myself not catching this before, but there you go. I guess we all get caught sometimes. Anyway, so time to put the plastic back over. As I say, I haven't cured the problem of giving it a temporary solution. On my right hand side there is a column of raspberries, so it really is in my not permanent beds but in my longer living beds. Yeah, pretty miffed with this. Look, there it is, I've got more there. So I've really not succeeded here at all. Definite crop this year, possible crop or abandonment next year, and approach the bindweed properly. Massive disappointment, can't tell you how much really. Oh well. And just before I go, in amongst the weeds is, in my polytunnel, is a field bindweed. Quite a different kettle of fish compared to the hedge bindweed that I've been complaining about the rest of this video. It's worth noting the difference between the two, because there's a striking difference below the soil, and that is this one here can be beaten by no dig, whereas hedge bindweed loves it under mulch, under cardboard, under membrane, as you see. So here we are, we'll dig it up, and there we are, nowhere near the same root system as hedge bindweed. Well, on that note guys, I'll see you next time. Thank you very much for joining me. Bye bye.